Another way of saying it is that we want to give people superpowers. So it's not just that we're restoring your prior brain functionality, but that you actually have functionality far greater than a normal human. That's a super big deal.
Can you explain what Neuralink is and what the goal of it is?
We put a chip in your brain to control your mind. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Concerns not alleviated.
Yeah, there you go. Jump right in. Step right up. Who wants one? No, so Neuralink, you'll be able to see Neuralink coming from a very long distance, because any device that you implant in a human you have to go through so many tests. It moves very slowly. You just do a few people at a time, and then you go to extreme lengths to prove safety. You have to go through the FDA approvals. Like, we're not trying to sidestep any, regulatory approvals. We're doing everything, by the book and with maximum. We're going far beyond what the requirements are of the FDA from a safety standpoint.
As the market expanded, it began to reward more enterprises than the select few during a height of concentration. Actually, we believe that to be the current course of events. There have been two reasons for this period of focus on the Mag 6. One is fear. In a little over a year, interest rates increased 22 times, and the effects are still being felt, primarily in the real estate market, but also in other industries. That shock created a need for cash, and if people were going to play around in the stock market, they gravitated toward high cash-oriented stocks, and those that might benefit from artificial intelligence, in the same way that AT&T did during the Great Depression from the invention of the telephone. Since we are no longer in the mega caps, I believe we will now expand, which will greatly benefit our strategies. I would like to know how you got started investing. Like, what caught your attention? I was 20 years old and in college. We frequently only pay attention to what he does rather than exactly what he says, which is frequently done as a diversion or as a commercial for his vehicles, X, SpaceX, and other companies. However, we use a point system to assess businesses, as well as the founders and management groups inside them. One of the 6 metrics is the barriers to entry and moat. Elon, in my opinion, is a master at using innovation to raise entry barriers far more quickly than anybody else. Why? Because his understanding of how to tackle new challenges is so grounded in first principles physics. Welcome back to Tesla Stock News, everyone. Today, Cathie Wood of ARK Invest, one of the leading investors in the 8 industry, shares some fascinating insights with us. She recently made headlines on the Iced Coffee podcast when she expressed her audacious opinions about why Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, may have the greatest edge in the tech revolution. We'll dissect Cathie's opinions regarding Tesla's advantage in developing innovative technologies, her emotional attachment to her investments, and the wider ramifications of her approaches in spite of some challenging years for her fund. Is Tesla truly as competitive as Cathie thinks? What does this signify, then, for tech aficionados like us and investors? Stay put as we go over everything and more. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so you can receive the newest and best updates on Tesla stock news. Now let's get going. You know it's worth listening to when someone like Cathie praises someone these days. She is out there praising Elon as the maestro of fusing technologies that append entire industries, including robotics and artificial intelligence. It all comes down to his usage of the data. How exciting it would be to direct the future using numbers. Now, folks, consider this. Surely, when you hear the term maestro, you picture a conductor conducting an orchestra rather than just any old Joe. That's Elon for you, Cathie says. He's experimenting with cutting-edge technology that has the potential to revolutionize our way of life, not just cars. She is really good at drawing attention to the unique qualities that make Tesla stand out in the tech competition. Elon Musk is at the center of a tech revolution, combining technologies like a batch of futuristic cookie dough. It's not only about manufacturing electric automobiles, this benefit. According to Cathie, it's Tesla's capacity for innovation and integration with data at its core. There is, however, a plot twist as usual. Despite Musk's brilliant maneuvers, some people are still scratching their heads and questioning whether the whole thing is all smoke and mirrors. It's true that during the past 5 years, Cathie's fund has seen several downturns, which has alarmed some investors. It seems as though Cathie's bets are paying off, even though Musk and Tesla are pushing the envelope and producing this technological symphony. It's a perfect example of someone who is obsessed with the scoreboard, yet loves the game plan. And here is something that makes you feel really good. Cathie Wood possesses genuine feeling in her performance, not just admiration for Elon Musk. She is deeply invested in her profession. She does more than just do cold calls and crunch figures. You don't hear about that kind of event very often, do you? She speaks from the heart rather than just the mind when discussing Tesla and Musk. Her employment seems to be an integral part of who she is rather than just her job. But here's the real deal, people. Even with all of this fervor and commitment, things aren't perfect in Cathie's world. With this one, the critics are having a field day. They quickly make note of the fact that her fund, the sizable ARK Invest, hasn't performed well over the previous 5 years. Like if you were an ardent supporter of a sports team that hasn't qualified for the posts. Furthermore, this goes beyond simply selecting stocks or placing wagers. This pertains to comprehending the direction that technology is taking. Cathie is delving into the specifics, the true meat of invention, such as battery technology that one day may power entire cities in addition to cars. She seems to be attempting to capture lightning in a bottle. And striking lightning. It's not simple, but the reward is great if she does it correctly. The rules of this high-stakes game are predetermined by what lies ahead. Therefore, the game is far from done, even though the scoreboard may not yet show it. Cathie is taking her time and enjoying the long haul this season. Consider this. What if she is correct? What if her wagers begin to pay off and the next major tech revolution is about to happen? That has the potential to alter everything for everyone witnessing this, not just for ARK. And keep in mind that Cathie believes that Tesla's biggest edge lies not just in their vehicles, but also in the creative way they employ data and technology, exactly the kind of thing she is betting on. She refers to Elon as the disruptive technology maestro for this reason. Those who had doubts could find themselves on the wrong side of tech history if her forecasts come to pass. And for you, here's a little inside baseball. Though Cathie doesn't have Musk on fast dial, she is very certain that her team's research aligns with Tesla's ambitious goals. Imagine that they don't talk to each other every day, but when they do, it's as if they are completing each other's sentences. Elon Musk acknowledged ARK's efforts at a recent shareholders meeting, stating that it aligns with his own thoughts. That's a high five from one of the wealthiest men on the globe, not just a slap on the back. What does all of this mean for me and you then? It demonstrates that having your work aligned with the major players indicates you're definitely on the correct route, even if you're not in constant communication. However, it also begs the question, to what extent do you believe the vision when the results aren't evident right away in your pocketbook? Now let's get a little more into Wright's Law, which you may not have heard of much. They discussed on the podcast how this ancient proverb has a significant bearing on forecasting the decline in technology prices as more of it is produced. Folks, this isn't just tech stuff. It's essential for knowing when to make a purchase and when to hold off. This law plays a major role in guiding Cathie and her team at ARK's technology investments. Consider it their secret sauce for staying ahead of the curve, predicting which technologies will take off and when. Here's where things become genuinely fascinating, though. Cathie's way of thinking is about how you play the game, not just who wins. She thinks that the minds behind ARK's research ought to be viewed differently from the way the fund is run. Yes, you did indeed hear that. It's like to stating, hey, our fund isn't always hitting home runs, but our research is great. Separating the caliber of the study from the fund's success is a daring decision. It would be equivalent to a coach claiming that her game plan is sound even if her team doesn't win every game. Now, some people find that difficult to accept. One may wonder, wouldn't excellent research produce excellent results? It's okay for you to wonder too. It raises a significant question about whether you can continue to have faith in the process even in the absence of financial gain. Determining if the plan investors are following is genuine or just smoke and mirrors is the kind of thing that keeps investors up at night. Nevertheless, the podcast drove it all over the tech map rather than just keeping it in the garage. They discussed how technology is influencing how businesses operate and what the future may hold, and it's not just about cool toys and gadgets. I, too, It is the central component of this change. Imagine companies that are driven by AI in addition to us.